May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio podcast. I'm DC, Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, doing our bit to help preserve the legacy of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths cross his, and anything else that comes to mind. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today we have a guest, Meiya Wender, Susan Meiya Wender, who came to Zen Center long ago in the 70s. And I remember her at Tassajara when I was there in the 70s. So we go way back. Here, I'll just read you what's on the San Francisco Zen Center site about her. Meiya Wender has practiced at Zen Center since 1972, was ordained as a priest in 1986, given the name Luminous Night. Original practice, Meiya Honshu. And received Dharma Transmission in the lineage of Shunryu Suzuki Roshi from Tenshin Reb Anderson in 2002. She has also trained in traditional Soto Zen farms at Zuioji in Shikoku, Japan. Let me tell you, that ain't easy. Good for you, Meiya. She has held many monastic positions at Tassajara Zen Mountain Center and Green Gulch Farm, including director, Ino, head of the zendo, tenzo, head cook, and tanto, head of practice. She has studied the way of tea for many years, including a year at the Urasenke Midorikai program in Kyoto, and teaches tea in Sowing the Moon Teahouse at Green Gulch. Yeah. Meiya, as you know, I think of Meiya, I think of tea ceremony, and she has done it. She's studied with great teachers, starting with Mrs. Suzuki, Mitsu Suzuki, Oksan, Nakamura-san in Japan at the Great Urasenke School in Kyoto. So anyway, let's just see what she has to say and take it away. Hey, Meiya, how you doing?
Hi, David.
Interesting room. That's your room in Enso, right?
Yes, I'm at Enso.
How do you like it there?
It's great. I really like my apartment. It's just right for one person. And so this is kind of the main room, and then I have a little kitchen space, and behind the Norin is a small bedroom.
And
is
that a Norin behind you?
Yeah, that's in the doorway. So I took the door off and hung a Norin there.
Oh, I see. A Norin, incidentally, is hanging up for you. I know you know, is a hanging piece of cloth in front of a door in Japan, and then it has a cut in the middle of it, so you can sort of walk through the middle. We've got them. We've got a number of them here in our house.
Yeah, I thought I didn't really need a door there.
Yeah,
but wanted some division, some separation between this bedroom, and and the Norin was perfect.
So, what are you up to these days? How do you spend your time?
Well, I'm teaching tea to a small group of people here at Enso, and we meet once a week. So there's a small tea room here. It's not a tatami room. It's just a small room, and I had a tokonoma made so that really kind of defines the whole space and gives character to the space. It's a lovely little space. So there's a tokonoma and a small kind of counter and preparation space. And then we had a table made, a traditional table, a style of making tea at a table, since most people can't sit on the floor. In fact, like even in the zendo, most people sit on chairs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So originally the zendo was designed with tans on all four walls, and half of those have been taken out to make more space for chairs. So a lot of people want to sit, but they can't sit cross-legged anymore. So so in the tea room, yeah, we don't expect people to sit on the floor. So it's a table and chair type tea room. And then once a month, we've been offering a tea gathering for the community. So that's been really interesting, way to introduce people to tea and a way for me to meet people here and for them to meet each other and have some conversation over a bowl of tea.
And when you say we, it's you and your tea students?
So there's several other people here who have also studied tea. So there's one woman who moved here, actually, who's been studying with me at Green Gulch for many years. So mostly she and I do it together. And then there's another woman who studied tea in Colorado, and she joins in sometimes. So yeah, small group of people who have studied tea for a long time, and then other people who are interested.
In Sogenji in Japan, Shoto Harada's place in Okayama, where Elin and I lived next door a long time. I loved it when they'd have, like every 3 months or something, there'd be a big tea event. Have you ever been to one of these where, like, they're making matcha for, 150 people, and you go, sit in rows, and let's see, I guess we sat with Harada Roshi and take the tea. Oh, it was so great. I loved it. It was like a big group tea event. Have you ever experienced that?
Yes, I have been to large tea events. We have small tea events. So it's very different. And then it becomes like most people are basically observers or spectators, kind of, and you don't have the kind of intimacy that you can have in a small tea room where everyone can participate and talk and talk about the scroll, the words of the scroll. But I've been to some big events like that.
Yeah, this was entirely participation. There weren't observers, and it was very social. But oh yeah, it was a big deal. There might have been more than 150 people at the temple that day. Well, how did you get into tea? How did you get into Zen? Where did all that start? Where are you from?
I'm from Detroit.
Aha.
And, um, and I first started studying tea with Mitsu Suzuki Sensei at Page Street. And you may remember her teaching tea there.
Oh, yes.
Did you study with her?
No, I've only been a guest.
Mhm. Yeah. So I studied with her for a short time, and then I went to Green Gulch and started studying with Nakamura Sensei, and and then I went to Japan for a year and
What
studied
year?
97.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, after Jerry Fuller died,
Mm-hmm. When did he
he
die?
he died in 96.
Uh-huh. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. And then uh, the woman who I was studying in San Francisco at the Urasenke Foundation with Christy Bartlett Sensei, who Jerry had also studied with,
Uh-huh.
and she was coming out to Green Gulch to teach. And then after Jerry died, this was after Nakamura Sensei went back to Japan,
Uh-huh.
she said, well, Green Gulch now has this tea house, and somebody needs to take care of it, and it's probably going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's how it happened that I went to Japan for a year to study
Where'd you go?
in Kyoto. So there's a program that the Urasenke had or still has a program for non-Japanese called Midorikai, where it was a scholarship program, so you could go for a year and they took care of your housing and everything, and you could study tea basically full time for a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
kind of amazing. Kind of like being a guest student at Green Gulch.
Yeah.
You know?
I went there once. I took some guests there. Actually, David Rockefeller and his wife, that Yvonne asked me to show them around. So Jerry Fuller arranged it, and we had tea with, I think, not the founder, who was a real big shot in Kyoto. You remember his name?
Honsai Daisosho was
Mm.
the master at that time, the Iemoto, the head of the school.
Yeah.
He's now I think 102
Wow.
and retired from that position, but still actually very active. And this program was his baby.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh,
um,
really?
yeah. So the story is that he was a kamikaze pilot in the war,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen photographs of him making tea for his comrades before they set off on a mission.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Katagiri
and,
was kamikaze pilot.
yeah,
Yeah.
and luckily neither of them actually went off on a mission.
Right.
And then after the war, he came back and then made it his life vow to spread peace through a bowl of tea and
Mm.
welcomed non-Japanese to study and in fact set up this program to really make it possible to teach
Mm.
Westerners and other non-Japanese
Mm.
um, to study tea.
Mm.
So,
The origin of tea is to create, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, or elaborate on it. To create a neutral space with no weapons for people to meet and have tea, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that was the origin, but there is that kind of story about the tea room being a neutral place where you leave your sword outside.
Yeah,
You don't bring it in to the tea room.
yeah, yeah. And is the original tea? What was the name of the founder of tea?
Well, you're probably thinking of Senrikyu.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't really the founder of tea. There was tea before him.
Uh
He
huh.
studied with teachers, but he was like a seminal figure,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
very important figure in tea. And probably the fact that he was commanded to commit seppuku kind of, then enshrined him as,
Mm-hmm.
as a almost like a tea deity.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it was a very important figure, but there was tea before him.
Uh huh.
Um,
Uh huh.
and we don't really know exactly what his tea looked like. I mean, in terms of the procedure that he did, because nothing was written down at that time.
Ah.
So the different tea masters were doing, whatever they were doing, and I think you might, like, well, let's go to Rikyu's tea room and have tea and see what he's up to these days. And
Ah.
some of us might be doing things a little differently. But then, later it became codified.
Uh huh. That's interesting.
So
Is his tea room? Does it still exist? Is it a place people can visit?
there's one tea room that is said to have been built by him called Taiyan, and it's been moved to a temple called Myokian. And I visited there a couple of years ago,
Huh.
small tea room, and then the Urasenke kind of campus or complex of tea rooms. They're all, they were built by later generations, but in the same place. So there still are tea rooms from the, maybe, I'm not sure, 17th century maybe,
Mm-hmm.
in Kyoto. Yeah,
Mm.
wonderful old tea rooms.
Mm. Did you, by chance, while you were in Kyoto, I mean, Jerry's best friends there were or, were Jay and Kyoko. Did you ever happen to meet them?
I think I met them once at Green Gulch. I
Oh,
think they
that's yeah,
visited, yeah,
possible. Yeah.
visited Green Gulch at, sometime later. Yeah.
That might have been a Kyoko, who we actually call Kyokes, and Reiko. Uh, I don't think Jay was there. I think it was,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was her and Reiko, and Reiko's. She lives in that area. Hmm. I'm going to ask them about it, but that's right. And they met with Hoitsu and Chitose and went to Rinso Inn. Hoitsu Suzuki. Hmm. Hmm. Well, so you started tea. Oh, and your tea was Urasenke, whereas Mitsu Suzuki's was a mote
Omote. Mhm.
senke. Could you explain the difference between the two?
So there are three schools of tea that are um, still being practiced.
Mm.
that are all descended from grandchildren of Senrikyu. So
Oh,
split into these three different schools, and um, basically, so they're very close. The procedures are very close, but just uh, kind of one of the distinctive marks of different traditions of tea is how the what's called the fukusa silk cloth that's used to purify utensils, how it's folded. So each school of tea will have a little different way of folding that cloth.
mm-hmm.
And so just little different procedures like that, or slightly different ways of doing things.
Uh-huh. The Urasenke, Ura is back. Does it mean back door? I can't remember.
Yeah, so there's a property on Ogawa Street, kind of in the middle of Kyoto, that was divided. And the front part on the street was given to one teacher, and that became Amote Senki. Amote is the face or the front,
Yeah,
and then Urasenke is the back.
yeah.
And then there's a third called Mushanakoji Senke, which is on Mushanakoji Street. So it's
Oh
about
my
like
gosh.
a maybe 15, 20-minute walk from there,
Huh.
not too far away. And Urasenke is the largest,
Yeah.
and it's the one that, like I said, the Iamoto made this vow to spread tea, and they've had published a lot of materials in English, and so it's a lot more accessible
Mm.
um,
Mm.
for Westerners, for
Mm-hmm.
non-Japanese speaking.
Mm.
Much easier to find materials in English.
Mm. When I first went to Japan in '88, uh, and I was I was uh, in the countryside in Gifu where Kaz Tanahashi had a little hut, and met some people there, and I was taken to a temple where the priest's wife served tea, right? And she said, I will now show you Japanese tea ceremony. She said it in Japanese. I don't remember how she said it. She said, you have never seen tea ceremony because you're from America. I'd hear that sort of thing a lot. Were people surprised uh, to, of course, you were there in the heart of Urasenke, but when you got out, were people surprised that you were involved with tea ceremony in America?
Yeah, people are surprised. And actually, I was in Japan a couple of months ago, and excuse me, went with um, actually a number of the tea students from Green Gulch also were there at the same time, and we met up and we went to a big memorial tea gathering at Kenninji, which you probably know is one of the major Rinzai temples in Kyoto. And they have an annual event where tea is offered to Eisai, the founder. And so I went with, uh, so the way it works is like, hundreds of people attended this event all throughout the day. They have many different seatings. And for the first seating, you have to get tickets beforehand. And then when you get there, you're assigned what time you're going to go where.
Mm.
And so we were standing in line waiting, and just started chatting with some of the other people there. And I think I was maybe the only non-Japanese person there.
Uh-huh.
Um, and yeah, talking with people and telling them, oh, yes, I study tea and I teach tea in California. And yes, we have a tea house at our temple. And yeah, people are very surprised, very impressed. Um, and, I had photographs of the Green Gulch Tea House and the Roji. And yeah, it's kind of fun to talk with people about what we're doing, and yeah, that there is tea beyond Japan.
Yeah,
It's fascinating.
yeah, uh, yeah. I ran into that sort of thing a lot back then. I don't know about now, uh, but ran into that with Zen. What, you
Mhm.
studied Zen in America? They just people in the average person would think of all that as something just strictly Japanese, including Zen. Including Buddhism, really. So that's really interesting. What's happening with the tea house at Green Gulch now?
Well, I'm still going there to teach, and yeah, so there's a small group of very dedicated students, and we've recently, one of my students who has a lot more energy for this than I do has started uh, teaching a new beginners class. So we're trying to bring more people in. So the tea house is still having classes, and we do a monthly public tea
Mm.
there, which people register through the website, the Zen
Oh,
Center website, and it gets filled every month. Matcha has become this kind of big thing now, and
what is?
matcha,
Oh, yes, yeah.
it's
I get
like,
matcha lattes at a Italian restaurant near, and they're really good. Uh,
yeah. Well, the problem is that people are putting matcha into everything, and there
right.
just isn't that much matcha in the world. But anyway,
Yeah.
so people are familiar, which was not the case years ago. But anyway, yeah. So we're continuing to do tea there, and the roji has really developed, and I think it looks pretty good. The trees are, these trees that we planted that were like little kind of shrubby things are now actual trees. It's
Ah,
so gratifying to
yeah.
see a tall pine tree
Mm,
that's taller than the tea house.
mm,
That when we first put it in was just this little kind of bush.
mm,
So yeah, we're
mm.
continuing to take care of it.
Oh, that's great. Is anybody living in it?
No,
Did you
no,
live in it?
not anymore. Years ago I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
long, long, long time ago I lived there.
Yeah.
But we've taken over that whole space for.
Yeah. I remember when it was built. I think they started building it when I was work leader there in '73.
It was in the 80s.
It was
In the
'80s.
80s.
Well,
Yeah.
I was back living there in
Yeah, you
85,
were.
86. Is that is
Yes.
that
I
when
think
they
that's,
started?
no, it was finished. It was completed in, I'm not sure, either 85 or 86.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Well, and I was in and out, and the memories just get shuffled around.
Pushed together.
Well, so you started your tea practice in at Zen Center. What were you doing at Zen Center? How'd you get there? What led you to go there?
I'd taken some acid, and,
What
you
year?
know, uh, maybe 72.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in San Francisco,
Mm.
and and kind of looking for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been doing yoga, and then I went to this big event. Swami Satchidananda came to San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
and all the people who were doing yoga were just really excited. And I think I went in a bus with people to, I don't remember, I have no idea where we went, some big venue to hear him speak.
Mm-hmm.
And people were kind of just overcome and with in his presence. And I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wanted to be. I wanted to have that kind of connection with a teacher and spiritual teaching, and it was not, was not happening. And I remember coming back afterwards and talking to one of the like senior yogis and telling him, I was pretty distraught maybe about, because I thought I didn't know that there was anything else.
Yeah.
Like now everyone, there's just all kinds of Buddhist and other spiritual teachers all over the place and traditions, but
Yeah.
at the time I had no idea. It was like this looked like a really great thing, but it wasn't working for me. And I thought, I'm kind of like bereft.
Mm.
There's nothing for me. And he said, well, maybe you should try Zen. And and then I also had a friend who knew about Page Street. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he had actually ever been there, but he had walked past the building and knew that there was this thing called Zen Center, and um, told me about it. So I went there, and it just made sense. I went to lectures,
Mm.
and it was that time right after Suzuki Roshi had died, where um, anyway, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know anyone or who anyone was, but when I went to the Dharma talks, they really made sense to me, and I thought, okay, this is going to work. I had no intention of meditating. I thought that was weird, but eventually I did go to the zendo.
And what year was that?
That was probably 72.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just happened to be living quite nearby, so I could easily just
Mm-hmm.
walk there in the morning for zazen.
And who'd you hear lecture?
Uh, Probably Silas Hoadley,
Huh?
Peter Schneider, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know. I mean, I think most of the time I didn't know who the people were. I would just go and then leave. I wasn't
Yeah.
really talking.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure. Maybe Cobancino. Was he there then?
Well, he
I
wasn't part of Zen Center, but he was
maybe
down. He was down in Los Altos.
yeah. I don't really know David. I
Uh,
kind of,
yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Ah.
it
And
would be
so,
interesting. I don't know if those lectures are in the archives. It'd be interesting to go back and
no, no,
maybe not.
not at all. Um, so, well, so you're living somewhat near. Where were you living?
I was living on Henry Street near Market,
Mm-hmm.
near anyway, quite close.
Yeah. Um, and so you were coming and hearing lectures and leaving, and you were going to Zazen. And so, what happened? How did it evolve?
And then, well, then I moved into uh, 191 Haight Street.
Ah, yeah.
And then I moved into an apartment on Lily Alley, right behind the building.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I remember, and Steve Stuckey was living there,
Oh,
and, and a couple of other people. And then, and then I moved into the building. I mean, that all happened within pretty short time.
hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very short time.
So what happened when you,
And
how,
and
how was it?
and then, and then I, it was, yeah, I guess it worked for me. It was good. And then I went to Green Gulch pretty early on, and and then to Tassajara
So,
in
how did you
70.
like living at Page Street when you moved in? You know, how was it?
At that time the building was really it was quite lively. I mean, it was vibrant.
Oh,
My memory is that it was full, a lot of people there, people going to zazen.
yeah, yeah. That was that 72?
That that probably must have been 72. Yeah.
I was work leader at living in the building, uh, so that's when we met.
Mm.
And when did you go to Green Gulch?
I think that same year I
Oh,
went to Gulch, that either then or 73. Yeah, I'm not sure.
how long did
But
you stay at Green Gulch?
not so long, because then I went to Tassajara, I think in the fall of 73.
Oh, uh, yeah. I was at Green Gulch when you were there too. I was work leader there, and Jisha,
Mm.
which was rather time consuming, and Kelly was born there in the fall. So you were at Tassajara in '74
Yes.
when I was the Shuso,
She's so.
and then the director in '75. Were you there then?
Um, at some point, I went back to the city. So, uh, yeah, I think I was asked to go to the city to work in the office for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
If you were asked to go to the city to work in the office, that's because people could see you were competent and would be good in the office.
who
And,
knows why?
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
well, yeah, you were a very steady student. You know, there was a lot of
Yeah.
low drama, right?
And I ended up, it was there for, I guess, almost 5 years. And then I went to Japan in 1980.
Oh, so wait, you went to Japan in 1980? Did
80.
you say? Tell me about that.
Mhm.
What was that
Um,
about?
what that was about was at some point, so I had been at Tassajara and then practicing in the city. And then at some point I thought, it's like, what am I doing here?
Mm.
Like, yeah, just what am I doing here? Maybe it would be good to get away for a while and actually see what it is that I want to do with my life,
Hmm.
rather than just am I just staying out of inertia, or, what's going on? So I thought it would be good to go away. And at that time, as you probably remember, Zen Center was renting a house in Kyoto, and Jerome was living there.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Was that Nakamura Sensei's house?
No, no,
No, it was
not
after that.
different. No, it
Uh,
was a different house. It was near Myoshinji.
it was what? Near what?
Near Myoshinji.
Yeah, hers was too, I think.
I think she was up north of Daitokuji,
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh, I thought I stayed in that house a couple of nights. Ursula. Do you know who Ursula was?
Yeah. Yes, I met her at that time.
But you know, my memory it could have been the same house. She became, oh God, what was his name? He was the president of Hanazono, the Rizai University, and was a teacher there. And, I can't remember.
Mumon Yamada Roshi.
Huh?
Mumon Yamada Roshi.
No,
No,
Ursula.
his disciple.
Huh? Oh, his
He,
disciple.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But at
right,
the
right,
time
right, right.
I was there, she was helping to take care of Mumon Roshi.
Yeah. Oh, so did you get to?
I sat, so I sat, I can't, I think the sub temple was called Reiyun Inn at Myoshinji. So I sat zazen there, and
Uh-huh.
that's where I met her, and I met Mumon Roshi. And, I
Cool.
was teaching English and studying Japanese. And then I met, um, so I was invited to go live at a Jodoju temple up in the northern part of Kyoto, called, I can't remember what it's called. The name will come to me. Anyway, so before I left San Francisco, the the priest at the time the priest who at that time was the the head of Sokoji introduced me to a friend of his, a Japanese priest who was studying Sanskrit in Berkeley. And he said, "Oh, if you're going to Kyoto, call my parents who have this temple in Kyoto."
Are you
So,
talking about Moriyama?
no. Mm-mm.
After Moriyama?
Uh, I,
At Sokoji.
I don't remember his name. He's a young man. And I just don't remember his
It's
name.
after Moriyama.
Yeah.
Because Moriyama
Um,
went to Brazil after Sokoji.
and anyway, so they said they had this little kind of detached house
Hmm.
and in like a little cottage and invited me to go live there.
Hmm.
So I moved from this Zen Center house up to this other little place.
Ah,
And yeah, it was, right next to a little bamboo grove and part of the temple, and I could hang out with um, the abbot's wife, and she knew Nakamura Sensei, so she
oh,
had studied tea with Nakamura Sensei,
oh.
with uh, what's his name, Yanagita. So, do you know Yanagita Sensei,
You mean the scholar?
the scholar?
I did not know him, but I
But
certainly know of him.
yeah. So his wife taught tea,
Hmm.
and I think a lot of her students were people interested in or kind of connected with Zen in some way. So
Mm.
she was very, very unusual, wonderful, wonderful teacher. And she taught tea in her home. So I went there a few times and then also met her husband,
Mm.
the professor. And yeah, so I was there altogether for about a year. And then when I came back, that was, I think, one of the reasons why I was asked to go to Green Gulch and be Nakamura Sensei's assistant.
Oh, oh, that's
Because
neat. I want to
I
stay in
knew a little,
I'm going to
I
stay
knew
in
a little
Japan.
Japanese, and I knew a little bit about Japan and tea and so forth.
Right,
So
right.
then when I came back, I went to Green Gulch.
Uh, um, so when you were in the house with Jerome, how was that?
That was difficult. That was that actually was the most difficult thing about being in Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was a highly eccentric
Yeah.
person, and mm,
Yeah.
so you were happy to move to that
Yeah.
hut
Yeah.
by the temple. That's neat. Now, when you were sitting at Myoshinji, do you remember Dosan?
No.
That's Shoto Arata. He was Dosan then.
Oh, yeah. I, yeah. I don't think I knew him.
Yeah, he was the
I
fifth
met him
Dharma
later.
heir. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I know who he is now.
Yeah, he was the fifth
But
Dharma heir,
yeah.
and I met some of the others, but I don't remember. But it was very close to his translator and secretary and everything. Chisan, Priscilla Storant. Did you know her?
Yes. Actually, when you now, I'm sorry. Who's Ursula? I was thinking of Priscilla.
Yeah,
That's the person.
Priscilla. Oh, when I said
Priscilla.
Ursula, you were thinking of
Yeah.
Priscilla?
Who's
Ur-
Ursula?
She lived
I
in
don't know
Gary
Ursula.
Snyder's house where Richard Baker
Oh,
lived, and later, and she became a Dharma heir of the priest. I could find his. Actually, I could find his name by asking ChatGPT, but it's really good at stuff like that. I just say, oh, he had a temple at Ryoshinji, where the stone garden was, and he was president of Hanazono. It'll tell me what his name was. And Ursula became his Dharma heir and married Dai. Oh God.
oh, I know why the name was familiar. She came to California. Is she the one at Daishuin West?
Yeah, yeah, north of San Francisco,
North,
north of
way north.
Sonoma County.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
she
Okay.
st- she started a
Yeah,
place there, and she was married to. Oh, I hate it. I can't remember his name. He was at Sokenji Daigyo. He died.
that's why the name
He,
was familiar, but I don't know her.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But it was Priscilla I met.
yeah. Priscilla, you knew Priscilla. Yeah, yeah, she's great. So, all right. So there you are back at Green Gulch. At what year? How long were you in Japan?
That was I was just there for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was in the city. So I went back to Green Gulch maybe 82 or 83, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. And all right, 82, 83. Wow. So now, right away were you like uh, working with Nakamura Sensei there at Tea House and
Yeah, at that time.
Yeah. What year did she leave?
I don't. Let's see. When did she leave? I I don't know.
You, yeah. Did
I think that so I was at Green Gulch until uh, 85 or 86. That I was tenzo for a while. I was tenzo, I think, for a couple of years, and then I went back to Tassajara,
ah
and I think she left during that time. Well, while I was at Tassajara, so I think it was in the late 80s.
yeah, yeah. It was. She should not have gone back. You heard what happened to her. I assume.
I visited her when just before she died. When
Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Think we got disconnected. You're back?
um,
Oh, we got you got frozen for a while.
I got
You
frozen.
you all right, the last I heard I thought it was disconnected, but it wasn't. You just froze. The Are you there now? Yeah, you got to move for me. All right. The last I heard was you saw her right before she died. Tell me about that. Where she was in a
She was in a
old
nursing
folks home
home.
hospital type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. And then she died in 97.
Yeah, 97. Did you say?
Yeah.
So, how was it visiting her?
It was quite painful. It was difficult. I think my head was shaved at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when she saw me, she saw this person with a shaved head coming. I think she thought it was Richard Baker.
Uh huh.
And then when she realized that it wasn't, she was, uh, I don't know if distraught is too strong, but it it wasn't like she was really happy to see me. I mean, because like I said, I think she thought that it was Baker Roshi, and then it wasn't. So it was like, whoops. So I didn't go back. It didn't really feel.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was. We couldn't really meet. There was not possible at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he
So
was
that
he was really distraught at her situation. I mean, he said her family had just stuck her there, and she didn't have her robes anymore. He said she didn't have her teeth. I mean, he exaggerates sometimes, but he and Sally were both really upset at what how she would. They talked about it as if her family had taken her that she was entitled to a certain amount of wealth that the family had taken from her. I,
Yeah,
something like.
I don't know anything about that.
And anyway, so you were visiting Japan there, just a visit or what?
No, that's when I was in Midorikai. That was the year I was there studying tea,
Oh,
living there for a year.
oh, same time.
And
So,
yeah,
and you went back to Tassajara too.
and then yes, I went back to Tassajara for like 5 or 6 years,
What years?
and from 85. Yeah,
Oh, from 85 to 90, around then. Huh. So what was your what was your relationship with Richard?
I was ordained in '86. So while I was at Green Gulch.
Okay, there we go. You were ordained by whom?
So Richard Baker left in '83.
Mm-hmm.
And right.
Yeah.
And I had always been closer with Tenshin Roshi as a teacher, actually. Yeah. And so there was a group of 6 of us who he was going to ordain. And then I think people said, well, only the abbot should ordain people. So he waited until he became abbot.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, at that time, things were quite different. Like now, everyone is ordaining everyone else.
Yeah.
But at that time, anyway.
That's a funny decision. And what year were you? When you say Tenshin Roshi, I think we should add that's Reb Anderson. So,
Reb Anderson. Right.
Some people won't know.
Was the first, so he became abbot in 1986. And then in June of that year, so there had been no ordinations for several years after Richard left.
Right.
Nobody ordained anything. And so that was the first one.
So what was your take on Richard Baker? How'd you get along with him, or what was your relationship?
I never had a close relationship with him.
Mm-hmm. Did you have positive or negative feelings about him?
You mean about his leaving, or
no, about him as a teacher and being at Zen Center?
No, I appreciated his teaching, and when I came back, at the time I was Nakamura Sensei's assistant. I was also his anja at Green Gulch.
Yeah.
And whenever he was there. But yeah, so I think it's interesting. I think it's really healthy for there to be more than one teacher, because
yes,
most teachers are not going to be able to teach everyone.
Yes.
Or inexplicable. We can't say why.
Yeah.
But people don't always kind of click.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Japanese word "en," or they say "go en."
Oh,
right. It's like good chemistry, our chemistry period. I mean, so you say, who do you study with? Oh, so and so. Oh yeah, I met him, but we didn't have "en." So it's a way of saying, yeah, we didn't click, but it's not really putting him down. Yeah,
it's like that.
Yeah, and in America there was always the tendency to say, "Oh, this teacher is higher than." I still hear that from people. Oh, even higher teacher, or even this sect is even higher than that, rather than just different, or having a different chemistry. So I think I appreciate the way you stated that. Yeah, and I was his Jisha there I was his Jisha, except for the 3 months I was Shuso. I was his Jisha for 2 years. And it was always pretty lively, like in his home at Green Gulch. I mean, they took on so much, like Renee and Jenny, and then they sort of adopted that guy's daughter, and there was, and there'd be all these other people. There was this whole world of stuff happening in his home that was very different from our life at Green Gulch
Right.
outside of it.
Exactly.
But it wasn't bad. It was yeah, like sort of lively and just busy. It was busy as heck. Uh, uh, yeah. Uh, so now, so all right. So you got ordained, and then you were at Tassajara for 5 years. I'm sure you were Shuso at some point.
Yeah, I was just so in '88 at Tassajara with Sojin Mel Weitzman.
Ah, ah, yeah. How'd you like being with him?
That was great.
Yeah,
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 really, really wonderful.
yeah, yeah, indeed. And then after that, maybe around 90, you went back to Green Gulch?
Eventually, I went back to Green Gulch, and yes, I was, Eno, and what else did I do? Director. Yeah,
And I just remember you in the tea house. I had tea with you. And
I started teaching.
uh, I sent people to you. I can't remember it all now. But how how long ago, not very long ago, did you leave Green Gulch and move to Enso?
It's been about a little over a year and a half now.
Hmm. I hear positive things about Enso.
Yeah, it's kind of an amazing place,
Yeah.
and it's like almost full now.
Hmm.
So a lot of people here.
How many people?
How many? Uh, I'm not really sure. Maybe I think over 200.
Wow. Amazing.
True.
And it's Zen and Vipassana and Tibetan and Quakers.
People are here from all kinds of backgrounds.
Hmm.
Just it's really interesting. Talking with people. You know, just people who were students of Trungpa Rinpoche,
Hmm.
who went to India, with some teacher around the time I came to Zen Center. They were going to India. Um,
Uh-huh.
just all kinds of backgrounds.
Um,
And
I would think now this would be a question for Susan O'Connell, but you might have some idea. I wonder if they run into any problem with like discrimination, somebody who saying religious discrimination or something because they're not involved with any meditation group or any of that. I mean, how does one get in there? Is it a private club or what?
no, no, actually, ENSO is it's a, I think CCRC, continuing. Wait a minute, there's a technical. It's licensed by the state,
Uh huh.
so resident. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, no, you cannot discriminate on the basis of race, nationality, religion, whatever, when people apply to live here.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. And I would say probably a high percentage of the people who come here are attracted in part because of the zendo, and because that they'll know they'll be supported in whatever kind of meditation practice they want to do. but there are also people who are not interested at all in any
Uh-huh.
of that.
Uh-huh.
And that's completely up to them.
Are there people that have no background with any meditation or
Yeah,
uh-huh.
absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And there's some people who come and say, but I want to learn, so people who have no background, but they are interested. And then there are other people with no background who are not interested.
Uh-huh. So it's open. Anybody can get in there.
Yeah, David, you cannot you cannot um, accept people on the basis of
Yeah.
their
What um what about Page Street and Green Gulch as places to live? That Mako was just here for a couple of weeks. It was Abbott of Page Street now. And we talk about stuff like that, but I can't remember getting into that particular
when you
line.
if you want to go to Green Gulch, it's not like a place to live. It's a place to train.
Yeah.
Place
Well,
to
how did
practice.
they how did they
You
how do
apply.
they stop? Everything's so legalistic. I know. I mean, I really get the picture from talking to people like Mako at Zen Center, how sensitive, and they've got their antenna up, the board and the officers and everybody, for not getting sued. Everything's so litigious.
Yeah.
You know, how do they define it as a place to train and not just a place to live? It's a school.
Well, people are they're asked to follow. Basically, they're asked to follow the schedule, the meditation schedule.
Yeah,
So there are requirements, and if you go and then you never get up for zazen, then you may be asked to leave. But
yeah,
yeah, it's difficult because that happens all the time. But here, there's no requirements like that.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is really different.
yeah,
This is not, it's not a temple, it's not a training place.
yeah,
This is a place to live. And
yeah,
I think people sometimes get confused, like going to Green Gulch, maybe, anyway, I don't want to get into that, but
yeah, yeah,
and so it's really, really different.
yeah,
There's absolutely no requirements here. You don't have to do anything
yeah,
except
yeah.
your
But
rooms.
it did. People select for it. It somehow it's working, just to say, hey, we're open to people who meditate, or it was founded
Yeah,
somewhat by it was founded by
right.
people
And, and
who
I've met
meditate.
people here who have said that, that they were looking for a place to live. And when they heard that San Francisco Zen Center was involved in establishing this place, immediately they thought, I want to go there.
Right, right.
Maybe there's someone who maybe they used to go to Tassajara in the summer, or
Yeah,
or they used to go to Green Gulch for Sunday lectures, Sunday Dharma talks.
yeah. Right,
You know,
right.
that kind of connection with Zen Center. And when they heard that Zen Center was involved with Enso, right away it was like, okay,
Yeah,
that's where I want.
yeah. Hmm.
And then other people, maybe I think some people, maybe their children are living in Healdsburg, and they like the neighborhood, they like the area,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
that may have been maybe a big factor
Hmm.
in wanting to come here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it varies quite a bit.
yeah. Well, and you you're there, and part of your pension, or what do you say, or on scholarship, because you worked for Zen Center for over 20 years, right?
Yeah, actually more like 40 or 50 years.
Yeah, but the people, the people who work for Zen Center for 20 years or more are entitled to move there and live there free, right?
Right.
Right.
That-
What about someone who worked for Zen Center for 19 years? I mean, could they get in at a reduced rate?
I think, in that for that situation, if someone is in that situation, they just need to stick it out for another year.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh-huh.
Because that's interesting, because if you say 19 and then what if it were 18?
Yeah, right. No, that's exactly where I
Yeah.
was going to go.
But yeah,
And then
I, I
you've got yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's that they have to deal with there. There'd be all sorts of people like on the fringe, like Myo Dennis Leahy, who's been running Hartford Street for a long time, and he's always been involved with the Zen Center or Hartford Street, but he doesn't qualify, and Hartford Street doesn't have any money or anything. So
yeah, and there are a lot of people like that who have other smaller meditation places, or zendos or temples, and who have if I don't know if the word deserving is like, I don't feel necessarily like I'm more deserving than some of these other people.
yeah,
Um,
mm,
yeah, so it would be wonderful if there was some way of including
yeah,
quite a few other people as well who,
yeah.
I could.
Well, sometimes I speculate, what if I came upon a lot of money? And I was thinking about that yesterday, which is unlikely but not impossible. And that's the first thing I thought of was help out people like Myo who really, are sort of in a no man's land there. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I think there are a lot of people like that.
yeah, I wouldn't give it
And
to a politician, I'll tell you. Uh, I decided that I've always been interested in politics and stuff, but back in '64, when Johnson was running, Lyndon Johnson running against Goldwater, I wanted Johnson, of course, but I was in New Orleans, and I went to the campaign headquarters, and they wanted me to hand out stuff that proved that actually Goldwater was more of an integrationist than Johnson. And I've been involved with SNCC and the civil rights thing and stuff. And I just looked at that and walked away. And I said, I'm not going to be involved with helping politicians. And I've stuck with that. Although I pray for their success. Well, is there anything? Is there? I remember you visited here, what, 3 years ago or something?
yeah, yeah, I think it's been about 3 years.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
nice. It was so good seeing
it's
you.
wonderful to see you.
Yeah. Um, and people go, but Mako's been here twice. She was here for a month once. And, you know, people from back there, I get little hits. Yesterday, I had to officiate at a funeral, and I don't do that, man. I didn't do that. I didn't want to do that starting, in the long time ago, 40 years ago, but or at least 30. But and I wasn't really qualified. But sometimes somebody said, "Oh, will you marry us?" I was saying, "No, I can't do that." Oh, please, no, you're the only one, right? And anybody can marry somebody, and anybody can talk at a funeral. So I do that now and then. But Amy Diller's brother just died here. And
Mm.
she got hold of me and she said, "Well, there's nobody else but you."
Mm.
So yesterday I went over, and they're all her brother's crowd was entirely 12-step people, right?
Mm.
And that's mainly what's. I mean, our friends are very high percentage, are AA or NA or something like that, and and I read the Metta Sutta and
Mm.
talked about AA a little, and I don't go to meetings, but I don't drink. I stopped a long time ago. But the so that was a sort of Zen Center connection, and it was
Mm.
nice to be in touch with Amy again. Actually, she's one of those people on the fringe now, who's many years of being involved with practice.
On the fringe of what?
She's sort of, well, I don't know, I'm going to do a podcast with her, but I get the impression she's sort of like a masterless samurai now, out there. She's living in Oregon. She seemed to be doing really well. But anyway, we'll see. But anyway, I really like being in touch with people from that very wide community that we all share. We all share something. What is it we share?
Yeah. Maybe a desire to question.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We all share something that we're trying to figure out what it is. How about
question
that?
ourselves, question our take on reality.
Yeah, that's very well said. See, questioning. And I just heard a rabbi say something that's where we're always questioning. That's he was talking about Judaism. We're always questioning, and you go back to Hinduism and what I consider the Hinduism that is like perennial philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, that where who am I came from it, questioning. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Maybe just to say that I'm still questioning.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I think one of the really inspiring things about being here is meeting so many people who are also interested in these questions and coming at from various different angles. And
Mm. Mm. That yeah.
people
Yeah.
with amazing backgrounds and who are still just very much alive and vibrant and wanting to participate in things, and like lots of people going to no kings rallies and marches, and
Right,
um,
right,
uh,
right, right.
and helping each other. So there's really, I think, a feeling here from a lot of people that we're going to be we're living and dying here together.
Yeah,
This is it. We're not going to be, most people are coming here and wanting, thinking like, I'm not going to move again. This is it.
yeah,
And how do we live together and support each other through this passage?
yeah,
So, like, we've had a lot of conversation about, well, what do we do when someone dies? What is the response?
yeah,
So, very, very real questions about how you live and die in community.
Oh, I think that's a really good thing to bring up. What do you do when someone dies?
Yeah.
Because, like Yvonne and some people in Zen Center were very involved with death and dying and hospice, but also preparing bodies to remain, what do you say, in state or something, for a few days so people can sit with them. That would be, to me, that would be something to prepare for. And I think that's a very good practice. That wasn't done with Suzuki. And I think that was a mistake. I mean, but anyway, it's all right. He wouldn't have cared. But really. But what do you think of that?
Well, some people want that, and other people don't.
All right. Well, it's of course other people don't. But for those who want it, is there something in place to make it happen? There must be people here who've been involved with that. I mean, there.
And so that's one of the big questions that people here are working on.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Wow, that's a great retirement place. When my mother died in a very nice convalescent home that was walking distance from her home through a nice woods. It was, and she was only in that place, 7 weeks or something. She was fine until the very end. And I just spent all day, every day there. I'd walk over there, and there was a Starbucks nearby. I'd get some tea, and then I'd go there and I'd work. There was I had a desk chair, and they didn't put any. There was another bed. They didn't put anybody in it, and I just stayed with her. And at the very end, when she died, I arranged with them not to have her taken away for, actually how long was it? It was just 12 hours. But then I had arranged with the funeral home for me to follow and stay. And the funeral home was a Sunday, I guess, because the funeral home director, this wonderful woman, I really liked her. She stayed there with me and kept it open. And then after a while, I knew everything was all right and went away. But, I think that's a good thing to do. And Yvonne really made me aware of that sort of thing. My God, was she into that. And sewing those, what are those bibs called for,
Jizo?
Jisho, right? Is it? Wait a minute. Is it?
Jizo Bodhisattva?
Yeah. Jizo. Yeah. Hey, I've thought of something. I just remembered. Your parents. When your parents came to Tassajara, I spent time talking.
Just my mother.
Yeah. Oh, just your mother. All right. Well, I spent time talking with your mother, and she was worried you weren't living in reality, and she wanted you to be a lawyer. She wanted you to be a progressive lawyer that helped people. I mean, she had this idea, and that she felt that's where you were headed until you got involved in Zen, and then now you weren't in the world of reality. You weren't in the real world. And I said to her, well, she could die here, so that's pretty real.
That was a big help, David. Thanks a lot.
I know.
I'm sure that really yeah.
I know. I thought about it. I talk to parents a lot
Yeah.
there.
Well,
But we talked about more than that. But how did that work out with your mother?
she eventually, um, I think both of my parents eventually softened up quite a bit about
Mm-hmm.
Zen Center.
Mm-hmm. Did you
Yeah.
come
But
from
yeah,
like a progressive atheist home?
yeah, yeah. And I think that's pretty common for
Yes.
parents to have
Yeah.
that kind of connection. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have both passed on,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and and yeah, we had a good relationship at the end.
Yeah. Good. Good. I think that's important.
It took a long time, but we finally broke through some things.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you stuck with them. All right.
Well, if you next time you come to California, you'll have to come visit here, David.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen. Uh,
Ever? Well,
well,
if it
I haven't been
happens,
back yet. It's been 12 years. In December, it'll be 12 years. But,
so,
where I have gone is to Hanneshof, Dick Baker's place over in
oh,
Germany,
I heard that you were there.
uh, because they fly me. I can't afford to go anywhere. And they fly me there, and I don't need anything. So they're flying Katrinka and me both there for 20 days in September, October. And my sister's coming. Do you remember her? My sister Susan?
I don't think I ever knew your sister.
Yeah, she was around Zen Center some earlier, but a lot of people there knew her. And my niece, and they're going to be at Johanneshof for our last 8 days. We'll probably go over. Vanya wants us to come over there. Have you ever been to Johanneshof?
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's really nice. Nice people. It's and now have you met Nicole, who's his Dharma heir?
Just briefly.
Well, she's more than a Dharma heir. He turned the whole thing over to her for real this time. Yeah. Well, okay, but listen, rest assured, if I would think it's somewhat likely I'd go back for one reason or another. I don't want to go back to live, but go back to visit. But it'd be so expensive, and I don't drive, and I haven't had to drive, since 2013. And Katrinka goes back, and she drives. So, but everything, you have to be in cars so much and go long distances. And,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. Well, look, I will definitely look you up if I go there. But I'd have to look up more than you would, so my gosh.
A lot of people would like to see it.
Well, thanks a lot. It's been fun talking with you again, and also it's been I've learned some things. You've really stuck with it. You've been full time since you started sitting there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Let me get my gacho up there. Okay. You take care.
Thanks a lot, Meiya. That was really good. I appreciate it. I always learn more about people when I talk to them here in these podcasts. I really appreciate it. And it was good relating to you again here. And it was good seeing you when you came to visit here in Bali. Oh, I just want to add a couple of things here. I noticed, when it said in the lineage of Shunryu Suzuki Roshi, and then she received transmission from Tenshin Reb Anderson. right? You know, one reason I try not to use the word Roshi after Suzuki and Baker and Kwong, the three who sort of expect it. Not that Suzuki expects it, that what it's expected, you know. Look, calling Suzuki Roshi and not calling Reb Roshi, it's just, to me, rather than figure out who you should call, just don't call anybody, you know. I mean, if anybody's going to be called Roshi, the Reb should be called Roshi, right? All right, that's enough. It doesn't matter. It's a small thing. But, you know, I have to think of stuff like that because I'm always putting things down on paper and saying things in the podcast. Oh, I want to add one other thing. Love to get contributions to continue this work. So if you're of such a mind, please go to Kyuk.com or to our ShunryuSuzuki.com, our massive archival sites, and hit the donate button, and you can make a generous contribution with a credit card by sending a check or with PayPal. And the best is to become a PayPal subscriber with a monthly contribution for as low as $1 a month, right? This has been a Kyuk Audio podcast. I'm DC Poobah of Kyuk Audio and Kyuk Archives, coming to you from Sleepy Sanur with Doghead Bandita, Feline, Manis, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.